everyone, welcome to Art Therapy. I'm Megs. I hope everyone's doing good. So I apologize if the light is kind of dim. I have a new setup I'm trying out, and I don't have a lot of time to fidget with the lights right now like I normally would, so I just hope that there's enough light. My husband has to leave soon, but I really want to get this video out. I tried to record it a couple times and it hasn't worked out so far, so excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. So this is going to be fun, I think. A lot of my pen pals have been messaging me, and I just want to say thank you. You've all really been touching my heart, and one thing I can say that we all have in common right now is everybody's going through a rough time, and I don't want this to be like a downer video, but I do want to bring it to light, okay? So I think it's important. I mean, if there's one thing I can say, we're all sharing these hardships, and I think that we can be in it together, right? So anyways, I thought this little series would be good, that we could just do some crafting, some of my favorite little techniques and different little journals, or even just on a piece of paper, and we'll make them as quick as I can. You know I'm not good at making quick videos, but we'll do these simple techniques and stuff, and we'll just call it crafting to cope, okay? Using crafting to cope. So I just want to talk about that for just a minute, so I'm just going to ask that you please watch this part if you're interested in this, because I think it's important. Crafting or art is a wonderful thing to help you cope. It's a really healthy coping mechanism, a coping skill, and it is in no way, shape, or form, I have to do the disclaimer, going to take place of any serious mental health help that you may need. Excuse me, I almost burped because I drank the Coke. I'm trying to be serious. But I can say, I've been through hell and back a lot of my life. I've been through a lot of trauma, and you know, it seems like so have most of you that have watched, that are watching me, because I've talked to a lot of you and you've shared some really personal things with me, and thank you for trusting me, first of all. I'm not good with words, but I just want to say that some of the things that I've learned, I want to share with you. One of the ways that I used to cope was using drugs. I am in recovery. I've been in recovery for years now, and but you know, I had so many unhealthy coping mechanisms back in the day, and I didn't have an outlet, you know. So now I replace those unhealthy habits with crafting and art, and that is why I call this art therapy, because it is my therapy. Now, please don't be mistaken. I have went through over 20 years of therapy. I've been in rehabs. I have been to doctors. I've been on medications, and so I've done all of the steps that I needed to do to get to where I am today. And am I 100% perfect? No, not at all. I'm not saying that, but I do think this is the healthiest I've been and the happiest and most joyful I've been in my entire life. And crafting, finding art, and junk journals and mixed media, and just all of this community on YouTube, it has helped me to get through my day. And when things are really tough, I know I can just come in here and do something to keep my mind busy in a healthy manner. So the first thing I want to share with you is this write and release ritual, and this is for anybody who's going through a tough time right now, and this will only take a minute. So don't let the word ritual scare you, okay? This isn't voodoo. This is something I actually learned in a rehab many years ago, and but this is from this is from Chirari. I don't know if I'm saying her or him. I don't even know if I'm saying, I think it's her name right. But anyways, Dr. Chirari Trent is an author and a doctor, and is the author of The Awakened Woman, and you can look up all of that online if you want. But anyways, this is just a book that It's not designed to provide, it's designed to provide helpful information. It's not meant to be used, nor should it be used to diagnose or treat any mental health condition. For diagnosis, excuse me, for diagnosis or treatment of any such problem. Man, this video is going to the pooper real quick. I'm sorry. Consult a healthcare professional if you need help, basically. The author of this book and myself, Megs, we are not responsible for anything, you know, for any of the personal issues that you're going through or any negative consequences that you may be feeling when you do this. I just had to say that because, you know, I don't want to be blamed like this didn't help heal me. But really, this is a great exercise. So what you're going to do is just get a piece of paper, and this is a cute little book that has it all in here, and I'm going to talk about this in 1 second, how you can have this if you want one. So you just you find a quiet place, you get a piece of paper, and you need to sit and pause and reflect. Okay, and you're going to answer the questions that are enclosed on this sheet, and I'll say them to you so you can write them down. You're gonna identify and confront your negative emotions or your fears, whatever they are. There's so much power in the act of writing everything down. Isn't that so true? Don't put your name on the paper. You want to keep it anonymous. Once you've written everything you can think of, tear it out, fold it up, and seal up the envelope, and dispose of it in any way that feels right for you. I remember the first time I did this, we burned it outside. But you can throw it away, rip it up, do whatever. You're not going to give it to anybody. You're just going to dispose of it. Okay, you're getting rid of it. It's the act of writing everything down, really reflecting, sealing it up, and letting it go. But there's more to it. Once you are done with all of that, the important part of this process is the strong symbolism that comes from casting aside your fears and any negative emotions or beliefs. By physically removing them from your life, you're making progress. By releasing the beliefs that have held you back in the past, you're acknowledging that they do not serve you and they do not want to be you do not want to be restricted by them. Sorry, I should put my glasses on. So, after you dispose of the envelope, tell your fears and negative beliefs. I know you come and you go. You come with fear, but now I'm letting go of you. Afterwards, write a different list on a separate piece of paper or in your journal, which is really cool. If you have a junk journal, you could make a junk journal just for this. And on a separate sheet of paper or in your journal, this is going to be a positive list. You're going to write a positive list that will help you move forward. You're going to write specific things that you want to see happening in your life and who you want to become without the limitation of the fears and negative beliefs. Now, my list was a little bit different, and you can write down any question you want. When I first did this, I wrote down all of the people that have hurt me. Okay? I wrote down all of the people that have hurt me and how that held me back and, you know, what it had done to me, and then I let it go. But this particular one, if you want to do this one, it says, list everything you can think of that has held you back significantly in the past. I guess that's pretty broad. Emotions, beliefs, fears, etc. Okay? That's on this side. And then on this side, you're going to write, how has it affected you? You want to use describing words, how it made you feel, how it's been holding you back. And you just really want to be detailed. You want to sit and reflect and be detailed about this so you can get it all out. It's going to be probably a little painful, you know, reliving some of the stuff, but you want to go through these emotions. It's healthy to go through these emotions in a sitting like this, you know, when you're prepared to do so. And then you're going to fold it up and, like I said, make your list whatever you need it to be. When you're disposing it, I mean, if there's people around, you could say this in your head, but you need to say this. I know you come and you go. You come with fear, but for now, I'm letting go of you. And then you dispose of it. And when you do that, you really need to try to let it go. You're not just saying the words. You really need to be ready to let it go. And this may take several times, you know. It's not like, oh, I'm healed now. I did the little ritual and now I'm all better. But it is a really good practice to help you. Now that that's done, I want to say that I've been going through my art room, and I'm going to have a lot of little things like this that I want to get rid of, and so I've decided for the rest of the year I'm going to have what we call a watch and win. And so if you watch the video, I'm going to announce it randomly in certain videos. You're not going to know by the title or anything. You're going to have to watch to see. And I'll have specific details in the video to let you know how you can win the certain prize. And I will tell you there is one big one coming up. It's going to be Daniel Smith watercolors. Ooh, I was going to keep it a secret. But yeah, I have some Daniel Smith watercolors, so be watching for that. I'm not going to announce it in the title. But for today, this is going to be, if you want this book, I can send it really easily in the mail. If you would like to have this, all you need to do is leave a comment. I'm asking that you watch the whole video if you have the time, even if you have to do it in segments. I would like to get my watch time up. I know a lot of people skip through, and that's fine. You don't have a lot of time, but watch as much of the video as you can, if you can. And you put in the video in the comments if you found this useful or if this is something that you might try. You have to be in the U.S. You have to be 18 or older. And so that'll be it. So yeah, I actually have a couple of these, so I might give a couple away. So anyways, so now what I want to do is we're going to go through different things that I like to do that help me when I'm crafting to cope. Now when I'm crafting to cope, it's different than if I'm doing like a big project. Now, excuse me again. If I'm doing a big serious project, like I'm selling or something like that, that's going to take a lot of brain power. And if I'm in a really bad state, I don't tend to work on those things, even if I really should be, because if things go wrong, okay, and it means a lot to me, if something goes wrong, then you might be in a worse place than you were before you started. You know, if you're feeling depressed and then you go to do this big project and you screw it up somehow, you're going to feel 10 times worse, right? So all these little practices they're going to be things that are fun, and we're not going to think about it. We're not going to go, oh my gosh, this has to be in the perfect spot. This might come out like crap, but it's just the practice of doing something that we like, you know, putting something down that's fun. So the first thing I was thinking of is collage, and then tea bag art. I love using tea bags. I can't say it without laughing, sorry. So we're going to I have some really fun things with tea bags that I want to show you guys. I think you're really going to like. I'll give you a little hint on this page. I'm going to show you, this is going to be the next video because it takes a little more time, and I don't have that. Today we're just going to do a simple tiny collage, but this is going to be the tea bag art that we're going to do. That's a tea bag, and it's just really fun, but there's stamping. You can stamp on tea bags. So we're going to do tea bag art, we're going to do stamping, collaging, mixed media, fabric flips, and then we're going to do some other things. So anyways, so today I'm working in this tab journal. Now, I wanted to show you guys how to make a tab journal, but there's so many great videos out there. I'm going to link them below. This is my tab journal, and I absolutely love how it came out. And I know a lot of you are not into Halloween, so this isn't Halloween per se, but this is going to be like a creepy story. One thing I really love to do is tell a story. I love storytelling. Ever since I was young, I love storytelling. I wanted to be a journalist and all kinds of stuff. And my new journal has really brought that up since I'm writing a story for it. I want to do the same thing with this little journal. I want it to be a story that I'm going to tell in art. So this story is going to be about this creepy physician, this guy right here. And do you see how I made this kind of broken off? It's not attached. I did that on purpose because I want it to look like broken down and, you know, yikes. So isn't that just the cutest little collage? This is all Tim Holtz, you know, stuff, and I need to really use that stuff up. But there's tea bags on here, and if you can see how the papers are torn, and you can really build up your tab journal however you want, but I love the look of using your papers in a way that they kind of cascade. Look, you see how they cascade all differently, but kind of uniform at the same time, if that makes sense. So this is, I'll just flip through how I inked on here, and I tore the pages kind of with a purpose. This is some decoupage. I inked this to kind of match. I think that came out really good. But see, my tabs are not perfect, and one thing I will say about that is I didn't care for this. I wanted it to kind of be all over the place. But I used fabric, and I mean, if you want it to be quick, I don't recommend using fabric, just because you have to use wet glue, and you have to let each page dry before you can glue the next page, so it does become a very lengthy process. It works great, but it becomes a very lengthy process. If you can find, I love this inking, how it came out. This was all white, and I think it matches really well. If you can find some fabric tape, I'll show you. Tim Holtz has some, and it's very cheap. You get 2 rolls, and it's vintage. Now, I didn't have this until after I made that journal, but this is fabric tape. This is perfect. You just cut little squares off, or little rectangles off, and it's perfect. You just peel it. Great. This is great stuff. The other thing I have, which I couldn't find it before the video, it's put away somewhere, but there's a sticky back canvas that comes from Ranger. It's very hard to find. I tried to buy some, and I found it at a little mom and pop shop, but I could not find it anywhere online. Sticky back canvas, but it's great. Or any kind of fabric tape will work. But you can use anything that sticks. Just be prepared that if it's wet glue, you're going to have to let it dry, because if you glue these on and it seeps through and you close the page, it's going to glue together. Okay, so for this I did put a magnet right here so that it doesn't hang off. And then I put my magnet there, so we're just going to cover that. So this is a creepy physician story. It's not technically Halloween, but 'tis the season, right? And so I found this picture of this handsome fellow, and the name Roy Jones came into my mind, and then I formed this story. And I won't go through every detail, but basically we're going to tell a story with Roy and this creepy doctor from Detroit, because I found a really cool sticker that says Detroit, and I have to represent my home, So Roy was a young man whose parents were, they owned a morgue, okay, under his house. Creepy, right? So one day they realized that, the husband and wife realized that all the bodies that were coming in were coming from the same physician. And his mom realized that she knew this physician. She was a nurse for him back in the day, and she quit the job because he was so creepy. So they went undercover, the husband and wife, and they did their own little detective work, and they kind of found out his secrets, right? They went in the hospital and did all these things. She knew exactly where to go and what to look for because she worked there. And Roy was just a young boy when this happened. So, long story short, the doctor caught on to them, and he caught them. And just as they were about to crack the case and put it in the news, right under his nose, he caught on, and he caught them, and he murdered them. Ugh, horrible story. But, has to go there. And so Roy was a young boy when he lost his parents, and he never knew what happened. And then one day they came to him, and they came to him as apparitions, and they were trying to talk, but they couldn't, he couldn't hear them, so they were leaving him clues. Now Roy wants to be a journalist, okay, and he wants to write for the New York Times one day. But right now he's just a journalist in Detroit, just trying to make his way, and his parents are leaving him all these clues to this doctor who is still alive and kicking it, right? And he's still practicing and still murdering. So Roy is finding out piece by piece what is going on at this creepy hospital, and he is going to shut it down, okay? You go, Roy. So, that is my story. And we are going to put his parents in here. We're going to put other ghosts in here and other things that have happened. Now, I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to do on camera throughout the month. I'm hoping to be able to fill the book. And if I only do this and another one, I'll still share it with you when it's done. I'm going to try my best because I think it's fun. So in a collage, we're going to put Roy, and we're going to try to put some facts about Roy in this collage. And I said this, you're not going to have to think too much. This is just a personal thing I'm doing. Please don't do this. If you're trying to craft a cope, meaning you're trying to just throw stuff on the paper, just throw stuff on the paper. You don't have to have a story. This is just something that helps me release. I love doing this. This brings me joy and happiness. Okay. So I have a ton of you know, Tim Holtz collages, works, you know, all, look at all this. I need to separate all of these. I have tons separated, and so I'm going to find a typewriter somewhere in here, and just a couple of things to kind of represent Roy, and then we're going to put it together. So I'm just going to pick, I'm going to set myself a time limit of just a second, and we're just going to find some things. And whatever I pick out, we're going to throw down and make it into a collage. Here's a typewriter. I knew I had one of those. And I'm just going to grab a couple things. I would like to find the letter R if I could, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to do that, because there's so many letters and I don't want to waste too much time. Oh, I did pull out an R. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully this works. But like I said, we're not going to think about it too much. It's not rocket science. We're just throwing together, oopsie, sorry, a collage. So before I even make this, or try to make these few sheets into a collage here, I'm going to grab some background stuff. I like to use, I'm not sure what I'm going to use, but I do like to use cheesecloth sometimes. I have some nice gray, and I do have this one too, but I think I'll use gray. And I have some of these scraps left over. Maybe I'll use some of these. I'm not sure. Okay. So I like to distress my edges on everything. I'm obsessed with it, and this is my favorite tool of all time. I was going to do a review on it, but, you know, it's just such a little thing. I was so afraid to lose this that I found this Crafter's Companion one, and I like it. It's sharp, but I do like the deeper wells on this one because it holds your paper more, whereas this one, it slips out a little bit, but that's just personal preference. You know, that's just one little thing. They all work pretty good. But I'm going to just distress these real quick, if I can. So I can't wait to get into the next series too that we're going to do, which is getting to know our supplies. Very exciting. We're going to pull out those supplies that we have that we wanted so bad that we never use, starting with watercolors. I love watercolors, but I just started using them more, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. But yeah, I had to have every single watercolor, and yeah. Now I like one brand. Okay, and then I'm going to distress these. This is the not so fun part, but I don't even know how I'm going to set this up. I think I have it in my mind how it's going to work, but like I said, it's not going to be a big deal. Now, think about if you want to do the background. Maybe we'll do a little bit of stamping real quick. I mean, there's so much you can do, right? But I don't want it to be too busy. Okay, so we're going to be, let's do some stamping. We'll do a little bit. I'm just going to grab whatever's next to me, which I have this, let's see if I have a stamp pad thing. Oh, goodness. Okay, all I have is this giant one, but that's okay. We'll use it. I'm going to use this, and I think I'm going to go with Brown Espresso here. I'm just going to leave some marks on the page. It's going to be mostly covered up, and I don't know how it's going to look, but it should be pretty light here. Just marking, oops, silly. Marking up my page a little bit. Get it together here. Okay, it's not working because of this, so. Let's see. It won't press flat because of the other side, but that's okay. Let's see if I can kind of get that off there. You know what? Forget that. I'm going to use it like this. I'm just going to use my hands. It's so much easier to me just to do stuff without the press, you know. I like to just use my hands, get my hands dirty. I am the kind of person that likes to get my hands dirty, so. So there we go. We got some marks on the paper. And then I'm just going to put some, I have some, this was a really cheap stamp. It was like $1 from, starts with an F. I can't think of the name. It'll come to me in a minute, but it was really cheap, and because it's so small and it's like a messy handwriting. Finnabair. It's from Finnabair. So I'm just gonna, it's like messy writing. Now it might not even show up on the camera really, but that's fine because we don't need it too dark. We're just making marks. And that's going to be all covered up, but I still do it just because it's fun. Okay, there we go. And we got our marks. Alright, so now I'm just going to throw together a background. Oh, you know, we got to ink our edges here. Got a new scrubby. Oh, Martha Stewart supplies are not going to be sold anymore at Michael's, and I almost cried because these are my favorite. You guys have heard me talk about it so many times. My favorite ink dauber things. I love them. Especially if you have arthritis. I realized with these that my hand isn't hurt. For some reason, it's just a stick. It's not a big deal. For some reason, though, holding this is just so much more comfortable to me. I think I just like the way these lay down. And it's just a simple like makeup sponge, but let me ask you guys something. Has anybody else gone through this? I bought makeup sponges like this, like at the dollar store, and for some reason they were making my ink a different color. I don't know if it was making everything green, and I don't know if it was something that's in the, you know, like oils or something that's inside of the sponge. I think that's kind of strange, especially if you're going to put it on your skin. But yeah, I thought I was crazy, and then I got another one and tested it out, and it was changing the color of my inks. Now, I'm a heavy inker. This is personal preference, okay? And we're already halfway there, so we're going to hurry up and do this side. Do this one. And then we're just going to glue everything down. And it's going to be cute. It's going to be fun. Now I'm even going to ink this. I know this isn't the fun part, watching me ink everything, but it's kind of what you got to do if you want that look, right? And I'm even going to ink old Roy here, just on the edges, just to kind of make him stand out a bit. There you go, you handsome fella, you. He just looks like he's telling a story, doesn't he? The look on his face, like he's seen something. He's been through a thing or two, this guy. And I like him. So, there you go, Roy. Gonna crack the case, Roy. Alright. Okay. Now let's see if we can make this into a collage, just a few pieces. Alright, so I'm just gonna probably just glue on a background here, maybe some, you can use anything, or you can use nothing. I like the look of stuff like this kind of hanging out the edges. I'll probably have to trim that. Let's kind of see what we're going to do here. So I'm going to put this on like that. I want him to sit on something. So, no, I don't really like that. So you just got to play around a little bit. Maybe I'll put this there, and then he could sit on it. Ooh, I like that. It's kind of cool. Up a little more. What about that? That's nice. And then maybe we'll do a little more. Put some, I feel like it's a little heavy down here, but maybe we can use some of this too. This is just some scraps I almost threw away. Maybe just add a little more. See how this looks, and then we'll glue it all down. If I can. Okay. Oh, I like that. But then I feel like it needs to be balanced out over here, so I'm going to grab a smaller piece like this and kind of try to balance it out, like weigh it down a little bit on this side just to even it out. Well, that's what I think is going to happen. I'm not sure. Something like this. It'll be better when I put it down. And I did want to put, how does that look? I did want to use the RJ, but I don't know if I can find a place on here that looks right. And it's a little literal, I know, but sometimes I like being literal. See, especially because that's a typewriter and these are like the typewriter key things. Now, I don't know if that looks good. So maybe I'll skip the RJ, or maybe I can tuck it back here on an angle. I'm not sure how that'll look, but that could be cool. Is that too much? It's kind of cool. I kind of like it. Sometimes taking a picture, if you're not sure, oh, I said we weren't going to think about it too much, but sometimes taking a picture of something will help you, and then looking at it through the lens will help you see if you really like it. So, if I can see this, I'm going to say that looks cute. I like it. So we're going to glue that down just like that. So now we got to take it off and glue it. So I like to look and see this layer first, then this one, then this one, then the RJ, this, and this. So we just do it in layers. I'm kind of mumbly today, sorry. So I'm just gonna, I like using Fabri-Tac for everything. Everything, it suits all of my glue needs. Except it does get a little tacky sometimes, a little messy, but I always run back to it. You know, I really like that Bear glue, Bearly Art, I think it's called, something like that. It's really good. For some reason, I'm not just a white glue girl. I just really like my Fabri-Tac. It just, and even some people say, oh, it gets stuck to your hands. I feel like Fabri-Tac's the easiest one to get off your hands. You just rub it and it comes off. But that's just my personal opinion. Huge Fabri-Tac fan. I actually think I'm going to glue this straight to this. Hold on. Let me get in the camera here. Glue this down. I think I'm going to glue it to this just so I can get it right. You know. There we go. And then I'm going to glue this down. Whoa! See, my glue's at a sticky stage, and I don't like that. Once it gets down to the bottom, acetone, if you use this, if you have pure acetone, which is by the paint thinner and whatnot at the store, at Walmart, pour a little bit in here, or some people use nail polish. Look at all that glue. I'm a glue hog. But it does thin it out and help it work better. We're already almost done. Now I do wish I had a little more of this on this side, so I'm going to come through before that dries, and I am going to lift it a little. Come on, come on. Little extra squeeze there, and I'm going to try to shove this in there if I can. Just want a little bit more. Maybe that's too much. No, that's good. Okay. Not too bad. Alright, alright. Now we're going to get our R and J on there. I'm wondering if I should cut the lowercase off so I could use them elsewhere, or I'm just gonna leave it, I think. Oh shoot, I don't remember if I had it. Hopefully this looks right. I don't remember now if I had it up there or not. It's okay. Trying to be quick. Trying to be quick here. RJ. I'm usually not this literal stuff, but I like it. It's my story, you know? Then we're going to come over here. See how I had this stuff placed? There we go. I'm just going to go ahead like I did on the other side and glue this onto this so I get it in the right spot. And I can't remember, do I want it at the bottom? All the way at the bottom? Like that? Or kind of in the middle? Yeah, that's good. So I'm just going to glue this one down. Come on now. And then we're going to add like a little, some words. I think a little line right here. I'll show you in a minute. Something to start our story out. Some kind of sentiment, but not really a sentiment. Let's see. Glue this down. Whoa. Man, I should have grabbed another bottle. Hopefully I'm in film here. I haven't even checked. I'll be so bummed if I've been out. Okay. I haven't even checked. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I even in the camera? I need one of those things that keep your bottle of glue upside down. There's that. And then we're going to put him on there. And then we'll find a little sentiment and we'll be on our way. There's this. Going to go right. Is that right? Glue down RJ. Roy Jones. Probably if I sat and thought about a name long enough, I could have come up with something a little better, but I saw an R and I was thinking Roy. And I love the name RJ, so I was like, okay, he could be RJ. I couldn't think of a good last name, so I said, oh, Jones, that works for pretty much anybody. Pretty much anybody can be a Jones, right? Okay. My sister's last name was Jones for a long time when she was married. Okay. And then, I like it. What do you guys think? There's our little reporter guy. And let's try to find a little sentiment here. Let me see. Don't I have some stickers somewhere? Dun, 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 dun. This is when I lose all my stuff. Okay, well, I thought I did. Oh, here they are. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can. I just got Tim Holtz stickers here, and we're just going to, I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking. I'm going to just look real quick here. Oh, I had some marked from before that I wanted to use before, so, no, that's not going to work. Let's see. The Dead of Night, there's us, Dead Man. Ooh, things are not what they seem. That is perfect. Things are not what they seem. And now, is that going to look weird on here? I don't know, but I do want something to tell a little bit of what's going on now. I'm not sure that this is going to look right, to be honest, but especially that color. Maybe I'll do something at the top of the page. I don't know. Things are not what they seem. What about took away the only thing he ever loved? That was the other one. Yep, that's what it's going to be. Took away the only thing he ever loved. Things are not what they seem. That's going to be the beginning of my story. I'm just going to ink it with this black. It's probably going to get all over it, and that's okay. I want it to look kind of messy, because that's my style. And now, normally this probably wouldn't look the best on a page, like having a sentiment here and down here when you have this beautiful collage perfectly placed. But for me, because this is my story, I want it there. So, and that's that. And for this, I will pull out my Barely Art glue. This is the one I love, Barely Art, and I love it way more than Art Glitter Glue. I just don't, oh, you guys are going to hate me for saying that. I just don't like Art Glitter Glue. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But, I mean, that doesn't mean it's bad because everybody else loves it. I'm just weird. Took away the only thing he ever loved. Let me stick it down. There we go. Sorry, RJ. Things are not what they seem. So I hope you guys liked this and that you found it fun and that you're excited to do other quick, fun crafting. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought already. This is what happens when I rush, when I know my husband has to leave and I only have a little bit of time. I start losing my train of thought pretty quickly. There we go. I hope you're excited to do more things like this with me. I know I can't wait to get back on and craft with you. And remember, if you're looking for something to keep your mind busy and off of the craziness of the world or whatever you're going through, grab out some supplies. You don't have to be methodical and, come up with stories or anything like that. Not like this was, anything that took too much brain. Just put something down on paper. It's so fun, and it really just puts you in a good place. Share with me what you guys are working on. If you are interested in being a pen pal or you need somebody to talk to, I have an email that is open all of the time. I will put it down below. I ask for kindness, obviously, and no gossiping about anybody else. But other than that, you can say whatever you want. And I am a vault, not a volt, a vault. So you can share with me. I'm in judgment-free zone. And yeah, just know that you're not alone. And yeah, I hope you get out your supplies, and I hope you look forward to our upcoming videos of getting to know our supplies. We're going to do, I think, jelly plate or watercolors first. So that's it, everybody. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate the thumbs up, the shares, the comments. They're all really appreciated. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.